What's up, guys? This is Vaughn from Simply Hawkward Games, and as always, I'm joined by my very best friend, Chase. If you didn't notice, that was totally finger guns, so it was super exciting. Before we get into the news, because it is Friday, this will be news for December 23rd, obviously. I was going to say 22nd, whatever. It's gonna be on the 23rd. We're just recording these on Thursdays. What we got here? What kind of gameplay we got?
Right here, this is Paragon. It's a MOBA. It's pretty fun. I'm playing with my buddy Forrest right here. Let's just say it's a very awesome ending.
All right.
That's all I have to say.
That was interesting. So, getting into the news, couple things happened. Not anything super intense. No, like, freaking Last of Us Part 2 reveal, which happened. I'm pretty sure we talked about it. But first, Blizzard announces in a comic that Tracer is a lesbian, and her girlfriend's name is Emily. And I'm not sure if it's 100% a lesbian or if she's bisexual. Stuff happens. She kisses a girl named Emily, which is cool. How do you feel about that?
I think it's awesome.
I think it's really cool. I think it adds a lot of depth to her character.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty awesome that, like, they're adding all these different things that really it shouldn't matter, but it's cool. It's like,
it's the
like
first
background
LGBTQ.
them, you know?
I think that was the acronym. It's the first Overwatch character to be in that group. So I think that's really cool. I think it adds so much depth to her character, just like at the end of like the Legend of Korra, like Avatar Legend of Korra series. It turns out she was a lesbian, and I was like, that's fucking cool.
One thing that really sucks about Tracer, though, that I've noticed is in the newest, like, game, you know, like the most recent update, she has like a elf uniform on, you know, and I have it, and I notice I'm like running around, her bells don't jingle.
That's the
so
one thing
annoying.
That's higher. The bells don't jingle.
Yeah, like
imagine how fucking annoying that would be, just running around in here.
She has like a skirt thing on that has like bells on it, and they don't jingle.
Yeah, that would be.
It's kind of weird.
Maybe they're like glued. They're for show.
To show.
But
I mean, I can
in
see
a tactical sense, I would not wear bells.
Want to be like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
I mean,
understand that.
Speaking of Overwatch, the latest like update for the winter event looks awesome. It's got a lot of good skins. A lot of it is really interesting. What are you pointing at?
Nothing.
It's just you getting your ass beat by some dude.
No, we just like staring at each other for a second. It was kind of interesting.
Okay, so next one, not to kind of glance over Tracer, you know.
It's pretty awesome.
And everything. I think it's really cool. I think it adds a lot of depth. I think it's cool, like, altogether that they are actually kind of putting story to each one of their characters, because that's the one thing, that's the reason that Overwatch will not be one of my Game of the Year picks, because of that. Because I hate that it doesn't have story. Like gameplay, hate not having story.
Well, like this game right here, Paragon, it doesn't have any,
it doesn't have
technical
any
story, but like if you go into like the character overviews, they have like this character right here, his name's Gideon, but it says like most of the other heroes don't believe his real name is Gideon. So it's like
his real name is Steve.
It's like, yeah, but like there's like a little bit of story, and I believe that they'll be dropping new like what are they called? Like the short videos. Just
the cinematic trailers that they put out, like the Bastion one.
Yeah.
I like those. I think they look really good. They're made by Pixar and everything. I think they look fantastic, but there are things that I really, really hate about them. And I mean, not them specifically. I hated that they had a
you see right there what happened just right there. I used my ultimate and she bounced me. That happens multiple times during this game. It's so annoying.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of MOBAs altogether.
This game's just really fun. I really enjoy it. And just so everyone knows, this is one of my first games back from a while from not playing it. So if I look pretty rusty, that's because I definitely am.
But back to what I was saying, I think it's cool that they did all that. I hate that they discontinued the comic book that gave you their origins and everything. I think that's really stupid. But hey, they're going to give us little Pixar tidbits and everything. I'm kind of okay with that. So next part of news. This isn't really news, but on January 6th, Underworld Blood Wars is coming out. I want to know what your thoughts on that are. I think it looks stupid. I like lichens. That's the coolest part about that movie, and the really cool action. But seriously, they've made too many of these movies. Once they did the prequel, after that it got way too played out. Like, there was one good movie after that, and then it's just terrible. Like, there's no reason to make more Underworld movies.
Well, you know me, I really like action, but
Yeah.
for some reason, these movies just don't do it for me. I
understand.
really don't like them. I
Yeah.
don't know. One of my cousins tried to show me it. I was staying at his house one time, and we watched it, and I was like, this is just garbage.
Yeah.
Like,
I like the first few, but holy shit, why are they making another one? Literally no reason. And this time it's all about blood. They're like, bitch is trying to get your blood because it's special. I'm like, oh my god.
sounds like Twilight.
It sounds like there's no reason to have this story.
Yeah,
Nobody needs to tell it. Just leave it alone. Jesus. After that, Nintendo Switch is in the news again for kind of underplaying. Basically, when it is pulled off of the dock, so when you see it switch into basically a handheld controller, it is going to be basically run at 40% slower GPU, or at least its GPU will. So I'm assuming more frame rate hitches, more, low texture, res, and like all this sorts of stuff. I am not too worried about it. I think that's fine, but it's also kind of annoying. I mean, 40% is a decent amount.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when you said that. I understand that there is going to be a drop in...
It would make sense that it would slow
Well,
down.
yeah, because, like...
Naturally.
Every handheld, game just is not as powerful as, my PlayStation. Or
Yeah, it doesn't have the room, it doesn't have the
Yeah, it just doesn't have the...
compatibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand that it's going to be, not as good, but I just want to know, I know it gives us a percentage, but I just really want to know, not necessarily the percentage. I just want to know, actually what it looks like. So
Yeah, you want to. I see where you're going with this. The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah,
when it comes out, you'll see how bad it is. I don't think that's gonna be a big issue. I mean, Nintendo has never really been hell-bent on graphics, so I don't think...
Which is a good thing, in my opinion. If
Yeah.
you have to sacrifice gameplay and story for a little bit of graphics, that's 100% okay. People games these days just want the best graphics. It's the best graphics. Well, you lose a lot of stuff when you add graphics, that much graphics. You lose whether it's gameplay or even the ability or just the game.
Yeah,
size
look at
is huge. There's some things that
like the Order 1886, really, really beautiful. Basically, a huge cinematic storytelling experience, but the gameplay, basically everything about it fell short. Other than that,
yeah, and I can only imagine that games that look that good, also the size of the file is huge.
yeah, it has to be.
So I mean, I don't know if anyone else has run into this problem, but on my PS4. I've run out of room multiple times.
Oh, everyone runs into that.
Yeah. So,
literally everyone.
So it's if it sacrifices a little bit of the graphics so I can get a game or two more on my Switch, then I'm fine with that.
That's kind of why I love indies so much. They're so tiny. I have a 32 gig memory card on my PS Vita, and I have so many indies on there. It's ridiculous, and they're amazing.
Yeah.
They definitely sacrifice graphics, but I'm a big fan of the 8-bit graphics, so I don't have any big issue with it. But, I mean, Nintendo always had this, signature art style that didn't really need to be, really... It didn't need amazing... I mean, you know what I mean. They have an amazing graphical art style. They don't need it to look like fucking Uncharted. They don't need it to be super high-res textures.
Well, that's because, games like Zelda and Mario, those all come from our childhood, so
yeah,
there's more of a nostalgia rather than them trying to capture us for the very first time, because first impressions are a big deal.
Yeah.
So you play a game when it first comes out, and if it has good graphics, then you're going to say, okay, this has good graphics, maybe it lacks a little bit of gameplay, maybe it lacks a little bit of other things, but it has good graphics, so you're going to say that might have been a good experience for you.
Yeah, they don't all the time, but yeah, it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, but see, that's what happens when you play games that have nostalgia. You just kind of already automatically put it into a, this is good, so I'm going to play it category.
Yeah, no matter what, you play it. Speaking of nostalgia, gonna get into our next topic. basically, Phil Spencer came out and said 50% of Xbox users are using backwards compatible games from 360. I definitely think that, like, I think that's a no shit kind of an assumption. Like, that is my stance on it, is no shit, they're using backwards compatibility. That's why people buy that system.
Well, I
if
think
PS4 had it, people would buy it over Xbox One.
I just think that, like, you think about it, what people want this day and age is they just want to remember, like I was saying.
Yeah, they want
nostalgia. And it just so happened to be that the old games, like the first Black Ops for Call of Duty and stuff like that, they're just better.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're just better than the newer games. Like, I saw something, I don't really know, like, percentages and stuff, but it said that, like, more people are playing Call of Duty, like, the remastered Modern Warfare, more than Infinite Warfare itself.
Oh, that's 100%. People bought that game just to get the
so
Modern Warfare remastered.
Like, you think about it, why wouldn't they just start, like, remastering the good ones?
Yeah, start remastering.
But, I mean, the Xbox already has backwards
compatibility.
Yeah, so, I mean...
Yeah, they made, like, Black Ops backwards compatible and everything.
Yeah, and I also heard that Red Dead Redemption is back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
It's been backwards compatible for a while.
Yeah, see, that game is so awesome. I just remember back in the day, we'd be playing it, and we'd, like, be held up in the McFarlane's Ranch.
I love Red Dead.
Just, like, essentially just challenging all the other characters. Or not characters, but all the other people online.
Yeah, to come kill us.
Come kill us.
We'd get the highest bounty and then run there and just pick them off.
Like, come get us. And we'd have so many people that would try. And it was so awesome.
It was amazing. It was definitely, like, kind of a Mexican standoff moment. Like,
yeah, it was. Because
we were just held up in a jail.
Yeah, we'd be sitting in the jail and we would just be like, come at us. Like,
yeah, it was definitely awesome. It's not surprising to me that Xbox One...
But the thing is that, like, you don't want to overdo it, you know? You don't want to, like, remaster things that weren't, like, a huge hit in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, I could see that happening. Things just, like, being remastered just for the...
Just for the hell of it?
Yeah, just for the hell of it.
Like the Ezio trilogy. I mean, Assassin's Creed 2 and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, good games. Absolutely no reason to, like... basically remaster them. I don't understand.
I just want to point out what happened right there is that big thing that I just threw a rock at was it's called the OP buff, and it just makes you stronger. And I was gonna go in here and help my teammate. Obviously, that was not a good idea. So what happened for the rest of this is my whole team died. And if you don't know, the goal of the MOBA is it's to destroy the other team's core. But you have to go through the towers and stuff, and my whole team is pretty much dead right here, so the other team takes this time to come and just destroy our core, you know. But the coolest thing happens, and I don't even know how it happened, but we were just spawning at perfect times, and we actually got the core at 1%. You can see that in it's like mid-top left up there. That says 1%, so... I mean, we got so lucky right there, and you could just imagine just one hit. That's really all
one
it
hit
takes.
would demolish that core.
One hit would just kill the core. So I'm telling my guys right here, I'm like, we need to attack mid, and I'm Gideon, so I'm gonna stay back and defend because he's really good at like defending minions. But overall, that was a pretty sweet match.
Basically, you pull a win out of your ass.
Yeah.
Is what you're trying to say.
Yep.
I got you. Well, make sure if you guys like this video, you click that like button down below. It helps us out a bunch. Make sure you leave a comment letting us know how we're doing and how you feel about any of this news. And make sure you guys follow us on Twitter, Simply Hawkward Games.
And don't forget to check out a giveaway. We're still doing that. We'll probably release the winner next Friday.
Make sure you do understand how to do it. You gotta like the video, you gotta comment, and you gotta subscribe. And make sure you comment what you want. Either Steam, PSN, Xbox One, or Nintendo eShop.
Deuces.